Good morning, everybody. November 9th, 2021. First couple minutes, we will be looking at what's going on with the new minister. The reason we haven't done anything on this session before is because we were just checking what this new immigration minister, Simon Fraser, will be doing for Canadian immigration. Okay, so the facts are he is a member of parliament from Nova Scotia. He was formerly a lawyer. What does this mean? Well, obviously he comes from a legal background. Second, Nova Scotia, Atlantic provinces. This means that all the major pro-immigration provinces majority are from Atlantic, right? So if he's from Nova Scotia, I don't know if anybody out there has ever gone to Nova Scotia or visited or knows it. Very friendly people. And Atlantic provinces are very pro-immigration because they have an aging population. They have a shortage of labor. They have a shortage of population, which is a good sign for a minister of immigration to come from there. Right? He's 37 years old. The minister will receive a mandate letter by the Prime Minister, which is Justin Trudeau, which provides direction for him to follow on immigration matters. These letters were traditionally not made public, but this government is making them public. This does provide some openness, but it also might prevent this new minister, the new immigration minister, from learning more intimately about the immigration programs and the portfolio and making his own decisions, right? So by setting out these instructions by the Prime Minister's office, certain people around immigration have to understand that the minister is kind of given instructions. So even if he wants to do something right now, his mandate will be to follow the Prime Minister's instructions specifically. Okay, so he can't come up with like this whole new plan out of nowhere. What will happen? We will get to everybody's questions, by the way, later on. Just a few minutes, we're going to discuss about this. What will happen is that right now for 2021, this immigration minister cannot do anything. We're almost at the end of the year. Nothing will happen. So if anybody's thinking that, oh, there's going to be a miracle, I'm going to get a response from IRCC through my web form or call center, or my file I've been waiting for over a year or 2 years is going to be processed, that's not going to happen this year. Okay? No one should be surprised that the Liberals will continue to bring in more immigrants based on their 1 year to 3 year plans, right? So it's usually over 1% of the entire population. So that mandate is there. The major challenge for this new immigration minister will be the backlog of all these applications and applicants who've been waiting for so long. Why? Is because most immigration officers were on leave during 2020. There was nothing happening in 2020. So you can consider March of 2020 until January 2021 that nothing happened in immigration. And this huge backlog has affected IRCC, the immigration department. And this is something that the minister will have to address because the new minister will be responsible for this and he will be scrutinized for this as well. The Afghanistan issue at the same time has squeezed all the resources of the immigration department can. And now the minister, the new immigration minister, has to be responsible for that and make sure that there's enough resources to process other applications. Because right now, if you know or not, if you send a web form to IRCC, if you call them, if you email them, the first response is, we're dealing with this humanitarian crisis. If it's not a high priority case, such as a humanitarian crisis, don't contact us. That's what it is. So the minister will have this as a priority to deal with the Afghanistan issue and also handle this huge backlog of applications that have not been touched or have not seen progress over the last 1 or 2 years, right? So every licensed immigration practitioner knows that a lot of the online portals from IRCC have had glitches, have had IT problems, and the IT department of IRCC is also scrambling and trying to catch up and trying to fix these issues, and it's caused people not to be able to apply properly on time or missing program deadlines, right? So this minister, we expect, will be focusing on regional immigration. Since he's from Nova Scotia, Atlantic provinces, those regions, the Atlantic provinces are mainly focused on regional programs, like the Atlantic Immigration Program, which is now a permanent program. Previously it was a pilot. The last federal election, the Liberal government promised to establish a municipal nominee program. And municipal is, right now we have federal, regional programs like the Atlantic Immigration, the Northern Rural Regional Program pilots. Then we have provincial programs, right? So that's all there, but the municipal ones will be at the municipal level, right? Cities and regions. This is what they've promised. Whether they can, this new minister can implement and roll this out is another story. The new municipal nominee programs across Canada. I don't believe we will see anything in 2022. Maybe there will be announcements later on in the second half 2022 for 2023. Right now, IRCC is too backlogged. It will be interesting to see, however, whether in light of the new minister's background, the Nova Scotia region, him being a lawyer, obviously they appreciate the Atlantic immigration programs there because the Atlantic is suffering from low populations compared to rest of the regions like BC and Ontario and other areas like Manitoba or Quebec. So Atlantic, considering his background, it will be over time, if he stays in this position long enough, be able to look at those regional, rural, and municipal perhaps programs to boost population areas which are lacking in 2022, especially 2023. I don't think we will see anything in 2021, which is almost over. 2022, it'll be slow to ramp up because of the huge backlog. And in 2023, that's when I think we'll have some fresh, a breath of fresh air, let's say. So if you've been watching us so far, that was our quick little synopsis on the new minister, what we think will happen, what we think will not happen. So if you're wondering that he's going to do miracles, forget about it. That's not going to happen. Okay? So let's so if you've watched for that reason, you can cut off now, because we're going to go into our live session. We're going to answer immigration questions live, and the way it works is you post your question, we answer it live here. I am Reza from Ingwe Immigration. I am licensed here in Canada. And yeah, this is going to be a long video because usually we end up answering everybody's questions online. And we're going to stop talking about the minister now and just jump into general immigration questions. So our first question, I'm not sure who's, I believe it should be Kartik. Yeah. Kartik, he's been on our show before. My passport is in the IRCC New Delhi since 20th October. They're not replying and not updating. If your passport is there, please wait. That means they will be stamping it and processing it. Okay, they are a little bit slower because Delhi, Abu Dhabi, 3-4 different embassies are helping with the Afghanistan issue. So they are a little bit slow. Wubalem Sisai is asking, please tell me about spousal PR. Well, spousal PR, the applications are under processing, right? But they do take a year or more to be processed. So some people have been waiting a year and a half, some people a year, some people in between, even 18 months, right? So you have to be patient if you have an application process. The important part is the decision, folks. You want a positive decision. You don't want a quick decision if it's negative, right? Mahdi El Aboudi is asking, if I register for a short English course while being on a visitor visa and apply for a study permit inside Canada, can I leave before IRCC approval? Okay, so you've studied, done a prerequisite on a visitor visa, you apply for a study permit. Can I leave before IRCC approves? If you leave, you applied from inside, okay? So what happens is it could be a reason for them to refuse you, but typically no. We've had a lot of people who do that. If it's a short little trip back and forth, it's okay. But if you're saying you want to go back and wait for the approval from inside of Canada, we don't recommend that. Nadia Lubi, what is the approximate processing time for SP inside Canada? 2 to 3 months. So worst case could be 4 months, but usually average 3 months. And it also depends on your intake period. So they will prioritize it if, let's say, in 2 months your intake period is starting. So usually we've seen it 2.5 months, just to be clear on that. But worst case scenario is that, okay, you have to leave some extra room, extra time as well, just in case. Albert Ayub is asking, hi, how are you? I am a Grenadian and civil engineer. What is the fastest way to travel to Canada? You have to look at skilled immigration. If you have a very high IELTS, if you're like below the age of 31 or 30, you can look at that. Or look at the Saskatchewan nominee program. If not, you can come here and study for a master's program and be nominated for PR after in 3 provinces. Mahdi Al-Aboubi is asking another, would the refusal of my wife's study permit application from outside of Canada affect my application from inside? No, it should not. Mahdi Al-Aboudi is saying, when shall I apply for my family to join me in Canada? After you have a study permit, after you have studied, and let's say for a month you have a little transcript or a letter of enrollment. That's when you're actively studying at the academic program. That's when you can start applying for your wife or your family. Mahdi is asking another question. Does it matter if I apply to study in Quebec rather than the federal provinces? No, it does not matter. You do need a CSQ. They have additional steps in Quebec for study permits. Kathleen Faye Cuevas is asking, I had my US and tourist visa approved. Do I have an advantage in applying for Canadian study permit? Yes, Kathleen, 100%. If you're interested, reach out to us. Cases like yours, we'd love to help you out at a very competitive level, and we can help you with the letter of admission. No fee for the letter of admission. So we have a dedicated education department that will actually do a free letter of admission for you because you have a US and Canada visa at the same time. Okay, so why not take advantage of free things, right? Angel G, hello Ingwe, can I use general IELTS for a student permit? Yes, you can. Hold on. Yeah. So it depends on which way. If it's student direct stream, potentially yes, and for other programs, yeah, potentially. But the school, remember, IRCC, the embassy, will look at it in their own perspective. The school for admission will not accept general. Okay, so you have to differentiate between the two. The immigration side doesn't mind, but you need to meet the prerequisite of your letter of admission or the program of choice at that school. So remember, you have to consider both factors. Vivek Sharma is asking us a question. Good morning, I'm looking for intercompany transfer. I'm a construction insurance underwriter and I have over 5 years of experience in my existing company. Okay, that's perfect, Vivek. You potentially could be eligible to apply. I will receive my MBA in January 2022, IELTS score 8777. I wish all applicants had your profile, Vivek. Should not be a problem for me. My age is 33. Kindly guide me what I should do. How would I know my profile and LMI is exempt? Okay, so it depends on your employer and your profile. From what you're telling me, your profile is good. You most likely will be eligible, but you have to tell me more about your company, right? So if the company is willing to process you, right, to bring you over, do they have a branch in Canada, a subsidiary? Do you have specialized knowledge? So we can help you with that, Vivek. And at the same time, I think you should look at express entry because I think you've got a great profile for that as well. So you've got a lot of good options. Feel free to reach out to us, Vivek, if you need help in terms of our website, ingwe.ca. Fill out a form. Mention you were in touch with us on YouTube. we would be able to do an eligibility check and even work with your employer or your company as well, or yourself. Maybe you've got better programs that would fit you if your employer is not so fast in terms of processing your transfer over. Kartik, everyone else passport is being returned within 1 week. Kartik, it's okay, but everybody else, every case is different, Kartik. So yours, if you don't receive it in the next like 3 weeks, let's say by first week December, send them an email. You know, if you're in Delhi, maybe go there, but send them an email by first week December if you don't receive anything. It is a little bit messy right now with the embassies and IRCC. Jimmy Phillip, hi, I'm a PNP Ontario nominee. Acknowledgement of permanent residency March 2020. Is there a chance for PR request this year? Not this year, no, Jimmy. Next year. January, no. February, I don't think so. I think it'll take a few months for them to kind of catch up in 2022. So that's my feedback. And remember, everyone, I don't have a crystal ball. We're at the mercy of IRCC, which is the Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship Canada, department, and nobody knows. I don't think even the new minister knows what's going on. I'll be very honest with you. It is a little bit messy. And when I attended the conference 2 weeks ago, sometimes some questions these IRCC staff would not be able to clearly answer. Okay, so that's a quick info. Jagid Singh, sir, how much time it will take to get an LMI approval these days? Each province is different, Jagid Singh. There's a Service Canada LMI process center in each province. Ontario, it's not bad. Some provinces is slower, like BC, I think. Alberta, they're slower. So we are looking at 1.5 to 2 months right now in Ontario, but each province is different. We deal with the different provinces as well. The Kuksa, sir, I applied for a study permit September 2021, intake for May 8th. A study permit for September 2021 intake, but I applied in May 8th with biometrics done on May 27th. I still haven't done any updates regarding my visa. I think there's a problem, the Kuksa. Send them an email directly to the embassy. There seems to be a problem. If you applied on May 8th, you met the deadline for September intake. Why didn't they process it? And it depends on the embassy you're dealing with. If it was like somewhere in the Middle East or Africa, I wouldn't be surprised, but you gotta follow up because it seems it's taken way too long. Kathleen Faye Cuevas, I got previous Canada tourist visa, but now expired. I will be applying for my student permit. Is it necessary to find my previous UCI number I used in tourist visa? It's not mandatory, Kathleen, to have your previous UCI, but on your visa that expired, it's stated there. Okay, so in the little corner on the far right, okay, this is far right there or there, depending on how you're looking at me, there's a number. It says UCI or Unique Client Identifier. So on your passport with the visa which has expired, that's your UCI is mentioned there. You don't need it, but yeah, it helps. I think you should include it. And by the way, if you need letter of acceptance from a school, we do it for free for cases that already have valid US visas and had previously had no problems with Canadian visas. Navroz Babu, hey, dear Reza Jackie, love your dear home holding 20,000 in my account and no travel history. Can I apply for a tourist visa from India? I'm 47. Okay, you got 20,000, you have no travel history. If you have family in Canada that can give you an invitation of letter, your chances would increase. If not, your chances would be not so great. Okay? Paulette Paul, good morning, sir. I applied for a postgraduate, not postgraduate, parent-grandparent sponsorship from 2019, nothing from the acknowledgement side. Yeah, please wait till next year. Nothing will happen this year. Parent-grandparent sponsorship takes 3 years, okay, right now. It can change later on when they've caught up. Mahdi El Aboubi, how long will it take for family permits after applying? If you're dealing with the embassy in Abu Dhabi, it's going to take several months. Other embassies could be just a few months. Villager Jat, sir, 2 days ago in my GCK current status was showing application profile updated. But now again, it's showing submitted. What does it mean? It means nothing. Okay, it means nothing. And again, if you meet the new criteria for the visitor visa as per IRCC, you should reapply. If you meet the new criteria that they've outlined as of September 7th. Jitin Biju, sir, could you please explain the IRCC algorithm for processing the STS study permit in India? There's no specific algorithm. I mean, they look at the major eligibility criteria. We are requesting the internal operational manual. So over the next month, we will receive that. So that's something I can probably respond to you later in December. So reach out to us mid-December. Joanne Moxie Lockhart, do you think there will be a large PNP draw these last 2 months? I believe there will be PNP draws, whether they're large or not. I think it'll just be streamlined according to previous draws for provincial nominee programs express entry. Whether there will be a CEC draw, Canadian Experience Class Express Entry, that's you know, everybody's sort of split on that decision whether it'll happen or not. But PNP, I believe there should be. Vivek Sharma, I'm working with AXA and I have been in Toronto office in 2019 on a business visa. Okay, Vivek, sounds good. AXA obviously has offices all over the place. I think you've got the criteria. Your employer has to cooperate. I believe AXA probably has their own internal lawyers which are helping you out, right? But should not be a problem if they know what they're doing. Oh, there's a lot of comments, folks, today. Melissa David, hi Rez, I applied for a visitor visa in July 2021. Did my biometric 4 days after, but I haven't heard anything since. I then emailed IRCC and were advised to resubmit my application. Can you share some lights? Yes. So Melissa, in September they came out and declared some new categories that if you meet those eligibility criteria for visitor visas, you should reapply. So anybody who's applied before September 7th has to apply using the new category system that they've set up. If you do that, your application will be processed ASAP. You just need to meet the eligibility criteria. Robin Dillon, my wife had gone in Brampton in 23rd March for her further studies. So what can I do for my spouse visa as I applied on 20th June and there's no reply from immigration? Send them an email, see if there's been any update. If not, reapply. Because we have recently received a spousal work permit within 2 months from an overseas embassy. But it was a new application. It was not an application from, let's say, June. Okay, so, but follow up and push them through emails. However, if you have any family in Canada, like your wife, go into an MP's office to ask them to follow up, to get an update. Usually wakes them up as well, the IRCC. Usama Tarek, hi, thanks for all your important information, highly appreciate it. When will they start giving results for economy class PR? I applied for my PR and work permit in March. It depends. There's a lot of economic class immigration programs, right? So is it a PNP? Is it the express entry? Is it a, you know, so it depends. Some programs are slower, Usama, right? So it depends on what program you applied, and then I can give you some insight. Kathleen Faye Cuevas, hello. I'm Filipino citizen. I'm planning to apply for student permit, current working in Singapore. Can I apply to Philippines Canada Embassy in regular stream? No. I would recommend applying from Singapore because you're not a resident of the Philippines currently. You're not residing there. Bedros, hi Reza, the Abu Dhabi recently replied to me raising a web form about my application, saying that my application is in queue for review. What does this mean? Basically, if you followed up with them through emails and web forms, they just replying to saying that it's in line to be processed. So they haven't even looked at it. That's what it means. Kartik, they are not replying to my mail. I just filled the New Delhi specific web form today. Give them some time, Kartik. You know, they're busy, and I know you said there's other people, students that received their passport. It just sometimes takes longer in certain cases. You cannot compare cases to each other. And the embassy sometimes is busier, sometimes less busy. Give them some time, but they should give you a response by the end of this month. Saif Al-Fala is asking, 90 days since I applied for a study permit for January. Do you think they'll process the application before December? I believe they should process it within the next 6 weeks. Yes. Giri Diatmika. Finally, I got medical requests after 3 months from refusal dates. So I took my medical a week ago, but till now I didn't get a new update. It's too early, Giri. Kartik, my primary... Hold on. Missed the question. My primary visa office is Edmonton and secondary New Delhi. Yeah, so they load balance, right? You did a student direct stream. So it'll be, it typically gets processed in Edmonton, but they do load balancing too, right? So you have to keep in touch. But your passport is being processed now in New Delhi. Your passport doesn't get stamped in Edmonton, okay? If you've given them your passport as what you've said. Amir Sattar is saying, my question is, what's the status for GTS application work permits processing times? Amir, we've been doing, we have applications now, have been doing them regularly. It's 15 days, okay? 15 days it will be processed for global talent stream work permits. Mahdi Alabudi, is there a problem if I apply for diploma from inside Canada while I'm a master's degree? It's not going to be a huge problem. You just have to have a proper study plan. Okay, like, you know, maybe it's a graduate certificate. So you have to kind of coordinate your study plan properly. It doesn't mean 100% you'll be approved, but it should be logical. Usama Tarek, I have applied for my work permit under the BC PMP Tech pilot program in March 2021. How long will it take Abu Dhabi office to complete processing? Abu Dhabi is super slow. You have to push them, but you can't release, so you have to push your employer in BC to ask the BC Tech office, PMP Tech, to send follow-ups. That will be more effective than you following up. Okay, that's a fact. Yeah, Usman, I just answered that. Stacy Rose, I visited Canada in 2019. I also have a US visa. My husband is on a 2-year study permit ending in August 2022. Should I apply for an open work permit or visitor visa? Stacy, if you're applying, it depends where you're applying from, but you can right now. Previously, I would advise you to come here and apply from inside. But that could be faster. Right now, we are seeing open spousal work permits being processed in 2 months, new applications. But if you want it to be more secure, I would say do a visitor visa under the new portal, new guidelines, and when you come inside, apply. If you want to start working as soon as you arrive, then wait outside, apply through the embassy for an open spousal work permit. So it depends on how quickly you want the work permit. Because if you apply for a visitor visa, then come in and wait, it'll take 3-4 months inside of Canada to get your open spousal work permit. Angel G, would you advise I go for student permit or PR? Which one is faster and easier? Angel G, I forgot your case. You're somewhere in Asia. Hold on, sorry. Yeah, I don't know, Angel G. I'm not sure what your case is. I mean, you asked about the IELTS. If you have the criteria for a permanent residency, why not? But if you don't, then you might have to go through education path. So it really depends on your profile, which I don't have information on. Villager Jat is asking, sir, I also received an email last week from IRCC stating we're still working on your application regarding only based on tourism can I reapply. If you meet the criteria, do you have family in Canada? Do you have vaccinations? These criteria, are you doing a business meeting? Is there a funeral? Is there a health issue? So if you do meet the criteria, you can reapply. I don't remember everybody's case, so everybody has to know this, that I don't remember from last week, because every week we get like 20-30 different people asking questions on their profile, so it's very difficult for me to remember everybody's case one by one. Pensiri Vijay Sakara, could you please tell me why does too late to give feedback for student visa. They're busy. They're busy. That's the only thing. So it depends on the embassy you're applying from. Pemisiri. From Africa or Middle East, Asia, sometimes it's a little bit slow. Jitin Biju, sir, who's responsible for processing visas in India? Is it the Indian embassy? Also in the web form going to help for speeding up the review of visa? The web form doesn't really help. And yes, in most cases, the embassy in Delhi will be processing, in most cases. Usama Tariq, thank you for all the important information. I'm from Pakistan. I have a BCPNP nomination under Tech Pilot. I already applied for PR and work permit in April. Abu Dhabi office. Yes, as I said, Osama, your employer has to push BC Tech office to push the embassy. You can't, like, even if you follow, Abu Dhabi is one of the worst embassies. Jackie Navroz Babu says, thanks Reza for your kind answer. I was praying for you. Thank you, Babu. Robin Dillon, where is the visa office, sir? I don't know. If you guys can put all your questions in one shot, that would be great. I don't know where the visa office, what you mean by that. Which country? Anuj Agraval. Hi, I have applied for a study in January intake. I have filed my application October 26th. What are the possibilities to get a response by 15th of December? Is taking premium biometric service helping quick passport stamp? I assume you have done your biometric, you have the letter, otherwise it would not be processed. If you have, yes, by mid of December, latest, I think next 6 weeks you'll get it. Bedrose, how long will it take the Abu Dhabi embassy until they start reviewing my application? I applied in October for January. I'd applied in the summer but got refused. They will look at it and make a decision before the end of the year. Bedrose, my background check wouldn't take as long to process. Okay. Jeffrey Studio, hi sir. We lodged our visa application on September 19th. 2021 as a student for my wife. Open spousal work permit for me and visitor visa for my daughter. My wife intake is in January. Is there a chance for an approval? Jeffrey Studio, it really depends on which embassy, what your nationality is, and your profile. You will get a decision before the end of the year for your wife and the applications that are accompanying her, like yourselves and your children. However, the decision is based on the quality of your application and obviously your nationality and which embassy you apply. Amir Satar, I submitted on 9th October, spousal biometric October 17th. Okay, applied in Abu Dhabi. Okay, I don't remember if we had discussed anything before this, Amir Satar. You just have to wait. I'm not sure which application for what it was. Again, I'm going through a lot of questions, folks. It's difficult for me to remember. Kartik is saying, can I visit High Commission to get updates? I guess they will not allow me. They won't allow you, no. But if there's any way, because I'm not in India, in Delhi, right? But if there's any way for you to follow up, it's fine. But give it a few more weeks before you take drastic action. G Trink, good evening from Indonesia. Hi, Gie. I don't know how you pronounce your name. Is it Gie or Gie? Kartik, my application was approved and sent passport. Yes, yeah, you mentioned that. Jeffrey Studio, we lodged our visa in Saudi Arabia. Oh, Jeffrey, okay. Saudi's a tough embassy, and you're an expat. So it's a 50-50 on the approval decision. Kartik, no problem. Joseph, hello, dear. Does remaining unemployed for more than 1 year until I get my PR will create any concern for the visa office? FSW outline file is on process. If your eligibility criteria and all the documents you've submitted and the information as of the time of application and your EITA did not change or was not incorrect, it should not affect it. Okay, you do need to keep minimum settlement funds. Okay, so you may be unemployed, but you do need to meet minimum settlement funds. Stacy Rose, I'm applying from Jamaica. Okay, Stacy Rose, let me go back. Yeah. I visited Canada in 2000. I have a US visa. My husband is in 2 years study permit now. Should I apply for open work permit? I'm not too sure how quick the Jamaican embassy, the Canadian embassy in Jamaica is. You're not too far off. If you don't mind, Stacy Rose, coming here and waiting 3-4 months for a work permit, you can do it from inside. But if you definitely want to get your work permit first, then apply from outside. Really depends if you want to be reunited with your family quicker, but you won't be able to work until you apply from inside, and that might take several months to be processed internally. Dion Montaya, hey Jane from Kenya. Hey Jane, how long for visitor visas taking? It can take, from Africa, I would say it will take 1 or 2 months minimum if you meet the criteria outlined by IRCC about having family members in Canada, students, workers, or permanent residents or citizens, or wanting to go for a business meeting, or there's a health issue or funeral, other criteria. It can be done in a few months. Melissa David, is it necessarily, hold on, sorry, let's try and find you here. Melissa David, is it necessary I will have to do a medical assessment before I get my visitor visa? It depends on your nationality. So where you're applying from. Certain countries require medical as mandatory for a visitor visa or other visas. Certain countries do not. Wasim Ali, hello sir, good morning. Good morning, Wasim Ali. Angel G, I'm 42 years old. I don't qualify for express entry, so I was thinking of applying for PNP. However, it seems to take so much time. That's why I'm taking which option to better. Angel G, so it's not going to be a guarantee that you will be selected from PNP. I would say if you do have a good educational background, if you do have great travel history and financials, you can come inside of Canada, start studying first. Because I'm not sure if you will be selected right now from PNP. It's not like a sure thing. Wasim Ali, I have a great day. Have a great day. I was applying for a tourist visa, but I'm still waiting for my PPR letter. How long I have to wait, sir? It depends where you're applying from. If you're permanent residency, you've already applied for passport request letter. Okay, have a great day. I was applying for tourist, but I'm still waiting for my passport request. So you need a decision first, or a passport request letter, right? So it depends if you applied before September 7th. If you did, then it could take a very long time. If you meet the new eligibility criteria, then you would have to reapply for your visa. Kathleen Faye Cuevas, thank you, Reza. All your answers are helpful. God bless. Thank you, Kathleen. Villager Jat, oh, hold on. Sir, I only fully vaccinated Pfizer, no family members in Canada, no business invitation, only based on tourism. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, Villager Jat. It's going to be below 50% chance that you will be approved. There is a chance. I'm not saying there isn't, but unfortunately, in cases where it's very low chances, we don't take on because we don't want to waste your money. Niranjan Kumar, can I apply for a student visa for May 2022? Intake in November or December? Yeah, so you will apply in May for intake in November, December. Yes, possible, and you have to wait till next year to see if there's any new policies or regulations. But from today's point of view, yes. Or should I apply in January for May intake? I would say apply in January for May intake. The priority for IRCC would be the next intake period. So if you're applying for 2 or 3 intakes later, your file is going to be queued. SDS, that's fine. Apply in January for May. First week January or second, whatever. The key is if you're going to apply in January for November, December, I don't know how quickly they're going to apply. You're going to be at the bottom of the pile in terms of all the applications under SDS. Amir Sattar, GTS application submitted 9th October, spouses biometric 17th October, Abu Dhabi Embassy. Again, Amir, the Abu Dhabi Embassy is slow. They will not help you out. Focus on your employer. Ask them to talk to BC PNP Tech desk. They have a special concierge desk. They can push. That's where the pressure can come from. Not from you to the Abu Dhabi Embassy. Adi Chinu. Hi sir, we have applied for a study permit for my wife, spousal open work permit for myself, visitor visas for our 3-year-old daughter from India on September 14th. Can we expect a decision this month? If the intake period is January, yes. like within the next 6 weeks. Joseph, thanks, appreciate your work, no problem. Kartik, what will New Delhi application has already been approved, only counterfoil sticker left to. Yeah, I know, you mentioned Kartik. It's just a request for passport, it's approved. It just takes longer sometimes. It just, right now I think Delhi is also quite busy with the Afghan issue as well, because they were one of the embassies that actually handled Afghanistan visas prior to this crisis. So I wouldn't be surprised that sometimes they're slower, sometimes they're faster. And I know your friends received theirs quickly. If by end of November, first week December, you don't get anything, then that's when you gotta push really, really hard. Usama Tariq, thank you, sir. Appreciate it, no problem. Adi Chino, for children accompanying parents to study permit, which visa category to apply? I hear below 5 years it is a visitor visa, and above 5 years it's a study permit for a child. No. So accompanying, you do a visitor visa. You cannot do a study permit application as an accompanying if you don't have a letter of admission from the school. Okay? Just to clarify that. Jeffrey Studio, sorry for incomplete details. We're Filipino and lodged for visa here in Saudi. Yeah, I know. As soon as you said Saudi, Jeffrey, I realized that. I used to live in Dubai for a long time. So I know how the GCC works. Okay? It's a 50-50. They may approve it, they may not. It's with expats in GCC applying, they will look at your ties in Philippines, because you're temporary in Saudi. Just so you know the way they think and the way they process. Jesse Joseph, hi, my son's wife's spousal visa July, not ready. My son's wife's spousal visa in July. Okay, if your son is in Canada, you have to reapply for his wife's, I guess daughter-in-law's visitor visa. So you should reapply if your son is in Canada, or you are in Canada. Jesse Joseph, hi, Villager Jack, sir, can you arrange business invitation for any construction company, as I'm working as a construction project manager? It's tough, Villager Jack. It's not something that we can do readily. How is New Delhi High Commission? I'm not sure, Kartik. They don't allow anyone to enter. No, they don't allow it. No, I mean, first start with web forms and emails, then calls, and then worst case, check with your contacts to see if it's possible to follow up at them. But I'm sure the embassy is going to be super busy and super strict. So start with emails and web forms end of November, okay? But I'm sure you're going to get it. I mean, I hope they didn't lose it. Thanks, sir. God bless, Jeffrey. No problem. Kartik, yeah. They don't allow anyone. Yeah, I know they don't allow anyone. Irfan Hosseini, hi. I want to know about processing times for a visitor visa for unification with the temporary resident applicant from Iran. Irfan, just so you know, one of our clients just got their visas in 2 days, okay, from the Ankara embassy for Iranians. So if you have a complete application, if you provide proof, if you applied under the new portal, it can be done. I'm not saying 2 days, because I've seen a few cases it can be done in a few weeks, or 1 month, or max 2 months. But they will be prioritized, Irfan. Okay? Kathleen Faye Cuevas. Hi, Reza. There are a lot of student permit applications here in Singapore Lodge and PH Canada Embassy and got high approval. It's fine, but I surveyed, they always say they should apply to Singapore. Yeah, I mean, generally that's the requirement. That's why I mentioned from Singapore, right? They probably do, because I know a lot of other regions, they do similar type of processing, like they'll apply from their own home country, but they're not. It's not suggested by IRCC, but if you see that other Filipinos are doing it and they're getting approved, fine. But you're taking it at your own risk. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Angela G, are there job recruiting agencies in Canada? There are a lot, but it's difficult to connect with overseas workers. Like, you cannot find a job that easily if you're overseas. Okay, so you got to be here with a work permit or a study permit that allows you to work part-time and full-time. Kathleen Faye, any issue on this? Kathleen, Yeah, so Kathleen, as I said, you can do it if others are doing it. I'm just saying that I'm more conservative, right? That's the only reason. What will happen if they lose it, Kartik? They're responsible, Kartik, if they lose it. But I hope they don't. Don't worry. Don't be so negative. Adi Chinu, thank you, sir. One more question. How can we determine which CPC case processing center is processing our file? India SDS for January 2022. Have you noticed a trend on which office is processing such file? There's no trend. It's load balancing between all the locations. You will receive a decision in the next few weeks before your intake period. If you want to find out where it's being processed, you have to do an ATIP, like GCMS notes. That itself takes a month. By that time, you'll already have a decision. Villager Jad, thanks, sir, for replying my long question. God bless you. So, conclusion that I should only wait. Yeah, so Villager Jad, I believe you applied for visitor visa. So, if you were eligible for the new criteria, you should reapply. So I don't remember exactly when you applied and whether you have family in Canada or you meet the new categories. Adi Chino, applying for GCMS notes to know status for application submitted September 14th, 2021 for January. Have any negative impact? No, it just takes about 30 to 45 days to get it. So if it's for January, I think you're going to get a decision very soon in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Thanks, everybody. Sorry we weren't able to reply on Facebook today because our chat isn't connected to our live stream, so I do apologize for that. We will reply to the Facebook post separately. Thank you for everybody. We will be back here today, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with my colleague Laura, who will be doing a Spanish-English session. Thanks again, everyone. Thanks, Adi. Thanks, everybody. Take care. We'll see you soon, later this afternoon. And remember, we're back again next Tuesday to help everybody. Take care, everyone.